Family Matters. My name is Divine Chamakong, and I'm anchoring this broadcast from Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. Domestic violence, physical or psychological, is more rampant than you and I think. Women, like men alike, are victims, but oftentimes men look more like the aggressors. You wouldn't simply believe the agony so many men are subjected to by their loved ones. Much of this is unreported, usually because few men want to tell anyone women, described as the weaker sex, are abusing them. That's where our conversation begins today. And to dive deep into the crux of the matter, to tear off the cloak of silence over abuses suffered by men, we invited talk show queen Rosemary Ewanga, asking for a friend. Ladies and gentlemen, join me now in welcoming the one and only, one of the most popular social media influencers, Rosemary Ewanga, on the platform.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Rosemary. We are glad to have you.
I'm so honored to be on your platform today.
I am more honored that you accepted to come on Family Matters on Chat Night. Today, we will be talking on domestic violence as seen through the lenses of men. The last time we talked about domestic violence, and whenever we do, people default to thinking that women are always the victims.
Absolutely.
Today, it's quite the contrary. We will also be opening the phone lines so that people can call and ask you questions, Rosemary. They can also, and they are accorded the right to challenge your points of view.
Absolutely.
Let's get into it. Rosemary, why are you so eager to come slam women abusing men when not too long ago you were here talking about how you were abused once by somebody you were in a relationship with?
I'm somebody who is very fair. I'm very open-minded. As much as we talk about domestic violence being rampant with women, I know, and I've seen men, and I know situation of where I've seen women who are very aggressive. I know that it happens too on the other side. The difference is that most men, because they are raised to be strong, we raised our boys not to cry, we raised them to suck it in, we raised them to be the pillars of the house, head of homes. So most often they think that coming out to talk about it takes away from their dignity, their ego, and their pride. And so this holds back a lot of men from coming out to talk. It does not mean that a lot of men do not suffer from domestic violence also. Yes, of course they do.
Domestic violence has largely focused on women as the victims. Why is that?
Because we chat, we talk. We are open to talking even with strangers, things that men would not do. We put out our feelings. We are emotional beings. Men are physical beings. So when it comes to emotions, we pour it out. We don't even care if it's for a total stranger. That is how we handle it. That is how we get the kind of help emotionally that we need, especially when you are really going through it. We are emotional beings. We like to chat, we like to talk, and we like to share what we are going through. That is just how, we are built. And so because women talk about it more, and normally the men are supposed to be the strong and the arms, and they have the strong arms, and they are the head of the house, and they are big up there. And but you'll be surprised what even a little woman will do to provoke a very, very huge man out there. So it's just about the way the society and the environment that we grew up with have accepted these things, and it has made it hard for men to come out. But I'm so happy that in these modern days, more men are coming out to tell their stories. And it will shockalize you how somebody called me 2 weeks ago, a man. It's a show that I'm actually working on right now. How the wife, beats him, lock the door, and spank him. And he is afraid, especially with those in America, he's afraid to touch her because of the laws in this country. When the police comes, if they see anything on her and she says you did it, they always most often they takes the woman's side, especially if they can see that he laid hands on her. So he said for that reason he gets pushed, pushed him out of the way, something that if he did, the reverse would not be taken lightly by the law or by the society. But this is where we are. That's why we have to keep talking and creating awareness and letting these men know that you are not weak. You are not weak. It's your right to speak out. And the only way to help this situation, help our children, help our sons, is to speak out so people know that these things exist. And the best way to eradicate it is by talking, educating, communicating, and putting it out there.
When I put out this announcement, the announcement about this show, here's what somebody wrote to me. Men aren't generally or primarily the aggressor in many homes. What they usually do is react, sometimes excessively, to the perpetual emotional aggressions and provocations from their partners. Unfortunately, physical aggression is perceived more of a felony than nagging, verbal insults, attacks from the female gender. Rosemary, this is a terrible question I'm about to ask you, especially as you are a woman.
Sure.
From what this guy says, clearly, he's saying that men would generally be very peaceful human beings if they were not dragged into undue provocations by their spouses. How far is this gentleman?
I totally disagree with this person. I am one person that I don't believe in sweeping everything with one brush. Every, gender, it's this gender, that's what they do. This tribe, that's what they do. No, everybody is by I look at them by the content of your character. I don't believe in looking at people by group or sex. It's an individual. You are responsible for your actions, because not every man is a bad human being, and not every woman is aggressive or disrespectful to their husbands. So I look at these things as individual issues.
Rosemary, he points out in his text to me some attitudes of women that could really, really, really provoke dangerous situations. Here's what he says: nagging, verbal insults, and so on. Why are you going to blame somebody who reacts to this kind of abuse from a woman?
Yeah, and I will still say that before I answer this question, it's not every woman. So I don't want people to put this as if it's every woman who behaves in this way. There are a lot of women who are very respectful of their spouses, their partners, their relationship, their children, because when you are disrespectful to your husband, you're disrespecting your children, because they are watching. They are seeing all those things, and we are raising the next generation of abusers. So I will still say this: that's an individual issue. Yes, there are a lot of them, but we cannot brush it to every woman. But there are women who truly cannot control their temper, and especially now with the way the society is, I see us women, like I've seen women who used to be so respectful of their marriages, of their partners, of their situations, but because they have come here, they have progressed, they are making money, they turn to disrespect their husbands. And that is where most of these issues come. And it is a great thing. We all wanted independence. We all wanted growth. We cried for this for a very long time. We all wanted to have an opportunity to go out there and earn a living. And it's helping, because the new world now, it's hard for household to be run by just a man. But the difference is, yes, when we have these opportunities and we are blessed, we forget that the men used to run the home. The men used to do all this, paid all the bills, even with the stress, and could still hold it together. So that's why I come to plead even with women that yes, it's a blessing when you have progressed. It's a blessing when you have grown. It's a blessing when you are making more money than your husband. That's good. It's an addition to the family, but it does not give us the right to be disrespectful or talk down on your husband or your partner just because you're earning more than them, or because you think that now you are earning an income. Your character should not change who you are.